Hello, and welcome to Upfront. My name is Dean Thullner-Veljacic, and we're filming on the unceded Nanaimo traditional territory. It's been said that one individual can make a huge impact in a community, and my guest today is certainly the definition of that. On this episode of Upfront, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Stephen Johns, the proud owner of Red Shelf Decor, a community enthusiast and an amazing volunteer. Hi, Stephen.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. I wanted to jump in right away. You own a business in downtown Nanaimo called Red Shelf Decor. Yeah. Can you tell the audience a little bit about Red Shelf Decor, maybe how it started and what's it all about?
Well, Red Shelf Decor is an antique store on Commercial Street right downtown. We also have a large Etsy store, so we have a warehouse as well. We started 6 years ago in this shop. I've been in the antique business on and off all my life. My father was an antique dealer, so was my mother. Mm-hmm. And I kind of went out of the antique business about 15 years ago, did some other things, and then I was drawn back to it. And Red Shelf just came out of a for rent sign on Commercial. I phoned, the realtor was there like in 6 minutes, and we had a deal done by the end of the day, and suddenly I had a shop. So this was just pre-pandemic, and from there, the story has just gone on.
But it has a great reputation, but it's also very diverse. Maybe you could tell the audience a little bit of what you might find when you walk through the doors. Well,
we try to have a variety of antiques, collectibles, things anywhere from $5 to $2,500. Mm-hmm. So we try to fit all budgets. We try to have home decor, interesting items, not stuff you just see at the thrift stores or you see at garage sales. You might see them there once upon a time, but once they're in the store, we try to make them clean and bring them back to their full life. And we just try to have a really great, diverse selection and interesting, and we try to turn it over. And I think that's why we've been so successful, is we turn over constantly. So we're always got new, fresh stock coming in just about every day. And so it's different every time you come in, even if you come in once a week or once every 2 weeks.
I'm here to tell the audience that it's beyond unique. This isn't just a regular secondhand thrift store. You carry amazing quality secondhand goods. It's everything from antiques, turn of the century, mid-century modern, to 60s, 70s, 80s classics, right? Yeah. And so where is this stuff coming from? How do you source this product?
Well, we kind of source all over the island. I always say I have about 100 people who are always picking, as we call it, grabbing stuff for me, and then I can sort of pick what I want from that. I went to a house call just outside Brentwood Bay on the weekend, actually, and it was like a old farmhouse, and there was 18th, 17th century furniture, so we just brought that into the store. Mm. It's already sold, but that's the kind of thing we find this stuff, and I don't go to a lot of garage sales and things. I sort of buy more unique ways, and I think that also helps. But yeah, it's just a variety of different avenues. We find amazing things, and it's like every day. I sometimes think I need to slow down buying, and then an amazing opportunity shows up. I know. So yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we kind of find it everywhere.
Now when I talk about Red Shelf Decor, I talk about Stephen Johns to the community. You have an incredible reputation. You have been awarded through and been nominated through several business awards, specifically through the Nanaimo Chamber Awards. You have been the winner of the Retail of the Year's People Choice Awards in 2023 and 2025. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's every time I go to these awards shows, I'm always there just to congratulate everyone else who wins, and people kind of laugh at me because I'm kind of humble about it. It's a great honor. It's wonderful because people recognize not just what my store's done, but also what I've done and my staff and my family have done for the community. And so winning awards is really cool. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but I do think that it's nice recognition, but it's also a nice way to be able to say thank you back to the community and back to the people who voted for a lot of these awards and for the people who selected me. So for me, it's also a way of saying, I recognize you as well.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, these awards are placed to recognize outstanding individuals in our community. You are the winner of the Community Building Award of 2024. You are known in our community for being relentless on giving back to the community, and we're going to get through some of that. But where does that come from? Where in your past has driven you to be such a community advocate and such a supporter of the initiatives within our community?
I think life experience. I think I've met hundreds and thousands of people along the way of all different levels, and I always say I've been to the top of the mountain a couple of times and I've fallen down way past base camp. So I believe you give back to everybody, especially the people who are struggling on their way up or starting on their way up, or whatever it may be. But I think for me, I grew up in a generous family. My parents were from very low-income backgrounds, one in England and one in Canada, and nothing was given to either of them, and they were both trailblazers in their own ways, and I think I got a lot of that from them. And I think as I've grown older, I think I've realized that it's nice to give back, but you don't always need to be thanked. It's more about the thanks comes from watching the result of your giving and your actions. So
we're going to get to some of those. So one of the reasons why I had you on the show is I wanted to talk about downtown Nanaimo. And for a while there, especially during the height of the opioid crisis, mental health addiction crisis, Nanaimo got a bit of a bad rap. Nanaimo's also divided. I've noticed that in the north, some of the people are sort of, oh, downtown Nanaimo, I don't want to go down. South Nanaimo, maybe a bit more artistic, a bit more open-minded. But at the end of the day, it did suffer, and there was a reason. There was an onslaught of mental illness. There was an onslaught of opioid crisis. I digress, but last Saturday, my husband and I went down to Nanaimo, downtown Nanaimo, and I noticed such a change. I mean, there's new sidewalks, there's these new lights that are going through, but also an abundance of new businesses. So I wanted to talk to you about your experience with that, and maybe you could help tell the audience that's watching this how vibrant downtown Nanaimo is and why people should go down there.
Well, to be honest with you, you're completely right, especially pre-COVID and then a little bit after COVID. Nanaimo's been a social media punching bag. People have all their opinions. Some of them don't even live on the island. But taking all that aside, Nanaimo did need to grow over the last few years and needed some massive changes. And I will say the construction has just gone on for the last 9 months. It's a little bit over. No stores have left that I know of. 5 or 6 new businesses have opened during the construction. The homeless problem is getting better and better due to different programs being implemented by the city. And I think generally downtown's just getting cooler again. I think a lot of people have this idea that you're going to get mugged if you come downtown. And it's just not true. We have amazing coffee shops. We have some of the best restaurants on the island, just on Commercial and around Commercial. We have some of the most unique shops. We have some of the best coffee shops I've been to in BC. So I think when people say they don't want to come downtown, they probably wouldn't go downtown in any city they lived in. We have one of the coolest downtowns, and I can say that because that's why I moved here 13 years ago, was for the downtown. My wife and I came up here. We just got married. We walked down Commercial Street. We went to the old city quarter on a day trip on the Greyhound bus. And I said to my wife, let's just move here. Let's give it a shot. And my wife was like, her job was flexible. I was sort of in a position where I was looking for work. And we came to Nanaimo. We thought it was going to be for a year or two just to try something new. And we haven't left. And it was all because of the downtown. So I do encourage people, come downtown and
well, there's some great stores downtown. I mean, we can talk about some of the classics like Guava. You know, Ashley and Jesse are doing a great job. Yeah. Fred from Lucid, Leon from Nayla. We've also got Carla from Quintessential. But what I noticed was the new businesses, the donut shop. What's it called? It's called Milk and Bread,
Milk Jam.
Milk Jam.
Milk Jam
There's
Donuts.
the brick and mortar coffee shop. There's all these new clothing stores. And I also noticed that the A&B Sound building that was on the corner has been completely renovated and is about to bust open.
It's going to be
what's going to happen there?
Granville Island style market. I will also mention Agony Mayhem, which is an alternative kind of music rock store. Pisano's Pizza next door to that. Rumors next door to that. These are all within the last 2 to 3 years have opened. Funk Revival 5 or 6 years ago went to a huge revival with new owners after a tragedy. Those are the stories I want to talk about downtown. Those are the stories I want to talk about on social media, because My Undies has opened. It was a new ownership about 2 years ago. She's killing it. There's a Posh Nails next to them. I could just go on and on.
But they're all killing it. Like I said, last Saturday when my husband and I went down, I expected to go. We went for breakfast at Mon Petit Choux, and then I thought, okay, well, let's do a quick walk around. That quick walk around was a full day. I met interesting business owners. I saw a thriving community, and I just want to urge the audience that is watching this to do it, to go downtown to Nanaimo. You know, not only that, you're right next to Maffeo Park, where it's beautiful. There's all these food trucks. There's a lot happening in Nanaimo, and I feel that it's time to remove that stigma and to understand that every city across the world is going to have its pockets of people that are marginalized, that maybe are struggling through mental health and addiction or homelessness. But we as a community not only need to support them, but we have to support the community that's with them.
Yes.
Yeah. So good on you, because you've been a real advocate for that, and I think that's been an important part of how this community has survived.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about the night market. I tell the audience, let's talk about the night market. Where, when, what time, what's happening?
Well, to be honest with you, the night market is such an amazing thing. It transforms downtown on Thursday nights, I think till the end of August. I think the last one's the 28th, 29th. It's Thursday nights, 5 to 9. I just can't say enough about how cool it is. People who stumble upon it from other cities or other towns and just in town that night. There's music. Most of the businesses are open. The kiosks. We've had 3 so far this year.
But not only the business open, the business is pouring stuff onto the streets, right? You're dumping right onto that.
So the businesses pour onto the street, and then we also have kiosks. Some of the businesses choose not to, and they'll have kiosks outside. There's a guy who does pottery, kick back and relax pottery, Joe Lyons. Amazing. He's doing pottery on the street.
Nice.
So he's got a wheel outside Lucid, and he's teaching people about pottery. So there's education info. There's a couple politicians come down there, and they stay, and then they chat. It's just, I think the reason the night market has been so popular is because it's gone through changes and stages over the last 6-7 years it's been on. It closed for 2 years during the pandemic, but it's not only got bigger, they've listened. So the Chamber of Commerce runs it. They've listened to our ideas. We've said, try this. Let's have these people. Let's have music at both ends. Let's have more of this. And they've listened. And I think that's a big reason. Some of the night markets kind of fade out, and the Nanaimo night market is just getting bigger.
It's massive.
Even in the rain, it's popular. So
excellent. Good to hear.
Yeah, it's just a really great evening, and I find it's great to bring the kids down. The food's always busy from 5 to 6, so if you want to eat, come down around 5, 6, but then there's food trucks all the way till 9. Right. And the food trucks this year, a baked potato food truck last week. I ate at a baked potato food truck, and it was like, it's a baked potato, but it was amazing. So just a really great night market.
Excellent. All right. Now, I want to talk about some of the things that you do outside of being in Red Shelf Decor, right? So I understand that you're currently the chair of the Downtown Business Committee and the vice president of the Downtown Business Association. So
those are kind of the same thing. We have sort of a task forces that work from the DMBA, and I've led up a couple of those. The DMBA started up again a few years ago. I joined a couple of years ago, and it's just a whole different entity now. It's not like the old boys club kind of associations of the past, I would say. It's really a great executive director we have, and we're working on trying to help not just Commercial Street, but all of downtown. And we're working with the Old City Quarter and Victoria Crescent.
Well, the Old City Quarter's booming as well. That's a whole other story.
It is.
I was there a couple of weeks ago, and again, all new businesses, looking really sharp and clean. It looks amazing.
Yeah, and we're trying to work together now, so we're doing some liaisoning between ourselves to try to create one big downtown, Old City downtown, instead of pockets.
Well, Nanaimo has been, from what I've been told, Nanaimo is one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, and it is attracting a much younger demographic. And that demographic is moving into areas that are closer to downtown, easy access to go to work. Also, the hospital's expanding, lots of younger people coming to assist in healthcare. So I can only imagine that because of that younger demographic, people wanting to move here, having affordable housing, raising their kids, that the downtown core is just going to explode on all sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's very important to say we're not just getting younger people, we're getting more interesting people. We're getting people.
Well, it's certainly more diverse.
We're getting, I see it down in my store. People come in and it's just people living their best life. And I love that about Nanaimo. It's gone from sort of an older school kind of town, which was amazing, but it's growing into this really open and diverse community, not just downtown, all over Nanaimo.
All over Nanaimo. It's statistically proven. It's something like 85% of the population above 25 are very open to diversity, inclusion, acceptance, which means, sexual orientation, ethnic diversity. Yes. It is really changing. Yeah. My husband and I moved here in 2017, and I'm here to say that it is absolutely a different vibe downtown.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. It's great. So you're also currently the chair of the Crossroads Pregnancy Center Board. What is that?
Well, it's basically a board. We're a board for a society that has been around decades and helps women and couples make tough decisions or help them through, get them clothes. The society offers clothes. It's a very open society. It may have a stigma that you can't come in with questions about different types of answers you might need. And I joined the board just very recently. The last chair's been around for a couple decades. She needs a break. Mm-hmm. And being a guy coming in was really eye-opening. I found out I was the chair at the AGM. Mm-hmm. It's been amazing. It's been amazing to see how much Crossroads does for the community, how much they give away to people who need it, how many thousands of bottles of formula, of clothes, but also the counseling. And it's all so open. So if it's about abortion, if it's about adoption, if it's about keeping the baby, what do those things look like? And there is no judgment. And that's why it's such a great thing we have in Nanaimo. And it's not talked about enough. I didn't know what it was until friends of mine told me they used it. And it really helped their lives.
Well, I'm going to get you to help me to get somebody on my show to talk more about that.
I would love that, yes.
Great. So what's so tremendous here is that you're running a business, you're continually supporting the community. I did want to recognize some of your past achievements. So bear with me here. You had 6 years on the Crime Stoppers Board. You were the vice chair of Nanaimo Art Council. You sat on the Nanaimo Photography Board and the president of Nanaimo CIBC Run for Cure Board. You are currently also the founding chair of Families Helping Families of Syrian Family Outreach.
That was a few years ago.
A few years ago, okay. And you just won the Volunteer Year Award at your daughter's school.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know firsthand. When I moved here in 2017, I was active in the community. I was doing some fundraisers for at-risk youth. I walked into your store and I said, listen, I need a donation. And hands down, you handed me a donation. You didn't even know who I was. And I would like to talk about that. Like, you always are there for the community. You're continually giving back. So a little bird told me that you want to run for city council, which I look back at this trajectory and I think this is absolutely an ideal person that should be on our city council. What is driving you to do that?
It's been in my mind for a few years. I came to Nanaimo and Nanaimo was giving back to myself and my family a lot. I came here, I was not in a successful place. I came from Victoria and I believe Nanaimo is the reason that I am now successful and my family's happy here. And I've been looking at city council for a few years and I have run for provincial politics in the past. And I'm not a party guy, I'm not a party politics guy. I think for me, community politics, city politics is the most important because it affects us day to day, and we can actually get things done. And so my reasoning for running is we have a great city council, and I think that most of them will stay, and I want to join them. I'm hoping that I can join them and keep going. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to stall now. We're getting permits through. We're getting building permits. We're doing good things, and there's so much to be done. And I think it's a good time. And I'm at a point in my life where I can do it. And I think it's just a really exciting idea. A little nervous about running, but I
think the trajectory of things that you have done through being a business owner in our community, being a volunteer in our community, and continuing to give back, I think you're actually in the right line here to be moving forward.
I also don't want anyone to ever think that I do all that for the reason of that I'm going to run for a city.
I don't think that's an issue.
That's how I've never lived my life, wanting to do things to get something. I very much want to put it all out there and see what bounces back. And so it's very important to me that we have city councils right now who have also given a lot back, who also do a lot day to day, and have never asked for anything in return. And I think that's so important.
So, of all the initiatives that you are part of at this point, the audience is listening. They're listening to you. They want to support our community. They want to support you. Is there anything that we can do at this point to help an initiative that you're working with now?
I think, honestly, from a business standpoint, shop local. Forget Amazon. This Canadian buy, Canadian support. It doesn't have to be my business. It doesn't even have to be downtown Nanaimo. It could be a Dunkin' business. Support local. I think that's so important right now. And I think as far as we're in somewhat tough economic times, donate what you can, but also if you have time, it's so important to remember we don't always have to donate money. If your child's in a school in Nanaimo, donate your time, because they always need you. If you can coach, I coach high school basketball, I coach cross-country running coming up this year. Do that. If you don't have time to do that, fair enough. But I think I really plead to people, give what you can, when you can, and if you can't this year or next year, do it when you can.
And if you're looking to volunteer, it's a bit of a side angle here, but Volunteer Nanaimo is actually excellent for that, because a lot of initiatives, a lot of charities, the ones we've even spoken about today, they register and they're always looking for help. There's never enough help in the community, and as a retirement community and elderly people that are looking for something to do, even a couple hours out of your week or your day can make a tremendous difference.
We have great thrift stores here in Nanaimo.
Yes.
The hospital thrift store up by Quality Foods on Turner.
They're on my show. They're coming up next. Yeah.
Like those ladies, average age of like 77, and they've got more energy than I do. Go help them 2 hours a week, 4 hours a week.
Well, they're a shining example of what community can do. These women have raised literally millions of dollars for the Nanaimo General Hospital.
Yeah.
Right? So listen, from the outside, you are committed to our community. You're an outstanding community member. Nanaimo is so fortunate to have you. And on behalf of Rogers and the community and all the people watching, we're so grateful to have you on our side and everything that you do. We're running out of time here, so I just wanted to ask you if there's anything else that you could say today to the Nanaimo community or to the community that's watching up front. What do you have to say?
Be proud of where you live. Be proud of this great city and everything it offers. And when people are negative or want to bring it down, rise it up. Whether that's online or in person, whether that's going to coffee shops and supporting Nanaimo, be proud. We live in a great city. I've traveled all around the world. I've lived in numerous places. Nanaimo is amazing. And so I would just love people to really flex Nanaimo the next couple of years, support it, and just, be proud to live here.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. I very much enjoyed this interview.
Yeah, it's been great.
Again, if you're watching this show, shop local, support downtown Nanaimo. It's vibrant, it's energetic, it has tremendous businesses to offer. Thank you for watching up front. I look forward to seeing you next time.